Hello, my homies. One smart cat doing some Minion masters, and you might look at this and immediately be like, "What is this phone crap? This looks like it's on a phone." Well, joke's on you. It's not on a phone, not yet. This game came out in 2019, and I've been playing it off and on pretty much since it came out in 2019. I used to play it on the Xbox. Recently, I jumped over and I've been playing it on PC. Kind of sucks because I had to restart everything, jump into PC. But this game is honestly pretty free to play friendly. Like, I've gotten a bunch of stuff. How do I go to? Yeah, like I have tons of cards. I have a decent amount of legendaries, and this is from maybe a month of me playing since I've gotten back onto the game. They are working on a mobile version, which I think is going to come out the beginning of next year, and that's honestly a good thing because this game will do amazing on mobile. There was a game, I can't remember the name of it. It was like King's Throne or something like that, where like you'd put down little monitos and like they'd go towards the other person's tower and try to blow it up. That's basically what this game is, but this game is a lot better. There's a bunch of different factions, and each of the different factions like has their own unique style and what they do. I'm going to tell you about my deck that I built real quick. The thought process of this deck is very anti-air and very range heavy, along with some spells thrown in there in order to take care of any of the opponent's like massive creatures. So you can see here at the top the numbers in those little purple circle things. That's how much mana it takes to play each one of these things. Both you and your opponent gain mana at the same time. You'll be able to see it at the bottom of the screen whenever I start playing. There are ways to gain mana faster. There's certain like creatures like this little dude. He wants to run on this little bridge, and if he gets on the bridge and he's able to dance, then he's able to give you mana quicker. But besides stuff like that, you gain mana the same rate as your opponent. So first off, we have the Mana Chaser. This thing is a flyer. It's able to attack the ground and the air, and something that's specific to the Crystal Elves, which is mostly what this deck is. If you ever have 6 mana or more, they get like extra abilities and stuff. So this is just one creature, but if I put them out whenever I have 6 mana or more, I actually get 3 of them instead of just 1. Next up is a spell called Arcane Barrage. This spell gets stronger the more that I use it. The first time that I use it, it shoots out 3 beams. The next time 4, the next time 5, the next time 6, all the way up to 10 beams. So basically spamming this spell as much as possible is the best way to utilize it. And it shoots out and it hits random creatures and does damage. This is the Crystal Arcanist. She walks on the ground, but she's able to attack the ground and the air. She doesn't have much health, but she is able to do AoE damage, so she hits more than 1 unit at a time. She also has the mana search thing, so whenever I have more than 6 mana, she actually shoots even faster. Next up are the Crystal Archers, another low mana cost creature. 2 of them come out. They walk on the ground and they are able to attack the ground and the air. Also not much health, but if the mana surge goes off, they're able to attack quicker, and it's nice having the range, especially if our opponent is using a lot of flyers. This is a spell called Pincer of Dread. This is one of the spells that I use to get rid of big opponent minions. It does a decent amount of damage, and it does true damage. So if they have shields or anything, it just bypasses all of that. And if it's not able to kill whatever it hits, then whatever it hits gets feared, and it turns around and walks away for a little while, which honestly can be extremely helpful, especially if whatever they're sending is big and scary. Here we got another Crystal Elf. This is the Spell Dancer. She has a lot more life. She has 130 life. She attacks the ground and the air. And if I put her out whenever I have a mana surge, meaning, 6 or more mana, she actually comes out with these balls that you see flying around her, and they'll shoot off in front of her, and they'll do damage even before she starts attacking anything. Bear Avalanche is another spell that I have. I like this spell a lot because it basically will wipe out any small units, because some of these cards, you play one card and it puts out like 6 units, but they're usually weaker units. The Bear Avalanche is able to slow anything that it hits, and it does constant damage for a little while. So it's a great way to get rid of stuff that's running around on the floor, because it does only hit stuff on the floor. This is one of my big dudes. He's 5 mana to put out. He's nice and beefy. He has 800 health. He does only do melee, so he only hits stuff on the ground. So anything that's in the air, he's not able to attack. But whenever he does die, I also do get a mana from him. So he's a good beefy tank, and whenever he dies, I get an extra mana. Beam of Doom is one of my higher cost cards, 7 mana to put out, but it is basically used to get rid of anything that's big, strong, and scary. It shoots down a beam of light that is stationary, but anything that's in that beam of light takes a lot of damage. Last but not least, my biggest card, 10 mana to get this guy out. This is one of the reasons why I like this game so much. This game makes it so that the deck building is really important. You can't just grab a whole bunch of random minions, random cards, throw them in a deck and think that you're gonna be able to progress. Eventually, you will start going against people who know what they're doing, and you need to have a good deck in order to win. And what I mean by saying all of that is this card on its own is just this person in the middle. But if you have a deck that has 4 spells in it, all these archers are also summoned whenever you play this card. So making sure that you have your deck built the right way literally makes this card so much more stronger than if you don't have the deck built the right way. All right, the last thing I should say is that there are different minion masters. You can make whatever deck you want and pick any one of these people in order to run the deck. Each one of them has different abilities. You'll see on the bottom whenever I start to play this XP bar beginning to tick up. As it ticks up, they get abilities, and this is the Minion is the one that I'm going to use. So whenever her first XP bubble gets filled, I get an arcane golem. This arcane golem gets stronger the more spells that I use. Once the second bubble gets filled, I'm able to get arcane missiles in my deck. Basically gives me a projectile that I'm able to shoot off into the battlefield. And if I get the last XP bubble filled, my arcane golem, the one from the beginning, gets even stronger whenever I'm casting spells. So she's a very good minion master for decks that have a lot of spells in them, which this deck that I'm currently using does. All right, with all of that being said, let's jump into a match. It might be a bit chaotic the first time that you see it, but I think it's a lot of fun to watch, and I think it's a lot of fun to play. So hopefully you enjoy it. All right, here we are going against the archer guy.
Throw down those cards.
So these 2 bridges right here are how you get XP, and you need your people to walk over the bridge in order to turn the color into your light. So since it's red right now, he's getting more XP than I am. And since these things can't walk over the bridge, I'm not able to take the bridge back. So controlling these bridges are pretty important. You can see the XP bars here. You can see the life bars here. I have a lot of spells in my hand, so I'm just gonna go ahead and build up to my big guy. The chain lightning took care of a lot of my ladies. That's the arcane missile spell that gets stronger the more that I use it. I have control of both bridges right now, so that is good. I pushed the wrong button and cast the wrong spell right there. That was a mistake on my part, but it looks like we're still doing okay. Get rid of all of those guys. She has a bunch of stuff on my tower right now, but I'm not too frightened yet. I'll get this stuff back. Controlling the bridges are very important. Couple of flyers. None of my guys fly, but I do have this. Hopefully that hits the flyers. Hit most of the flyers. That's good. Using my spells to get rid of the big guys. Using my spells to get rid of the little guys. The fact that we have both of the bridges right now, I'm fine with chilling for a second and getting something big. He's also chilling, which makes me think he's going for something big as well. Oh, we don't want that thing. That thing right there, like, blows up like a nuke and, like, just hurts everything. Let's do this. I want to get my big army out. He just used his daggers, so that means he won't have anything in order to massively kill my guys over here. Let's put somebody closer so we can get that bridge as fast as possible. Once this goes all the way up, completely full, we get basically unlimited mana for a little while. So that's one of the reasons that holding these bridges is super important. Every time I use a spell, this guy gets bigger and bigger. Look how big he is. He's a big old boy. Looks like he's pretty distracted over here, so I'm gonna build up my big army again. He hasn't used his arrows yet. I don't want to build up my army until he uses his arrows. So let's just put out a bunch of stuff to like force him to use his arrows. He doesn't want to use his arrows, but I mean, if he doesn't, he's getting really close to dying. I love that spell. All right, he just used his arrows. Let's build up to our big guy. The reason I wanted him to use his arrows first is because these archers, like having a bunch of them, obviously is super strong. But overall, they're weak. Like, you know, those arrows or chain lightning or anything is able to kill all of them all at once, pretty much. But I mean, we were in control of that pretty much the whole time. Very nice, very nice. So another thing that I really like about this game, the rank system is completely dependent on what you're playing. Right now, I'm low gold on 1v1s. You could do team battles, which we're about to do right now. The team battle with random people, I'm low platinum. You can play team battle with your friends and it becomes pre-made team battle. And so my pre-made is low platinum. I play this with a buddy of mine and we just wreak havoc all over the place. It actually differs, you know, if you're doing a pre-made or if you're playing by yourself with random people, which I really like that it makes that difference, you know, that you're not in a pre-made team where you are. That being said, let's do a team battle, because these team battles can get very chaotic. So I am looking for a random person to play with, and it will be 4 people putting shit down all at the same time, which can get extremely crazy. I'm gonna use the same deck for it. All right. So one of their people is the same thing that I am, and the other one is gonna be able to get a dragon towards the end of the game. Possibly get a dragon towards the end of the game, which can be very, very scary. One of the other things that like I enjoy this game so much is you can look at it and you can be like, okay, well, you just put down random stuff, and I won't like dispute that is something you can do, but eventually you're gonna hit a skill wall where just putting down random stuff isn't working anymore. Like, you need to have a game plan, and you need to look at what your opponent is putting on the field and figure out how to basically counter what they're doing. So we're doing a pretty great job of controlling the bridges, which, like I said, is very important. Like, you can see on the XP thing, we're almost on our second bubble, like finishing our second bubble, and they're about halfway on their bubble. So controlling the bridges is very important. I'm gonna build up to my big guy. Hopefully he'll put down... Yeah, he has some stuff to put down. My archer is kind of separated. Placement's also very important in this game, because once you put something down, you don't control it. So it's just gonna go like straight towards, you know, the first whatever that it needs to be going towards. I'm trying to play a bunch of spells so I could build this up to its max. And now it'll be a lot bigger than it would have been. Try to slow down and kill these guys. We're at level 3 now. We are doing very well. Play some spells so I can make my guy bigger. This guy should be massive now. Yeah, look how big he is. Big, beautiful boy. Health-wise, we haven't really hurt him that much, but we have been in control of the bridges, which is we're gonna win in the long run because of how much we've been in control of the bridges. He just used his fireball. I'm gonna build up to my big people. Oh, he's going down. There's too much stuff over there. My big tanky dude was over there just punching the shit out of it. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we were in control that entire time too. So that's just a small taste of Minion Masters. I honestly really enjoy this game. I have a lot of fun playing it. This is one of my like go-to games whenever I just want to veg out, relax, and like just have fun, because it combines a bunch of the stuff that I like. It has strategy, it has deck building. I love, you know, making builds and doing synergies and stuff like that. And as far as free to play goes, like, it gives you a lot of opportunities to get cards. You know, like, it gives you quests that gives you gold. You can use the gold in order to buy power tokens. Each one of the power tokens is 1,000 gold. Like, I have a bunch of power tokens just sitting here that I haven't used yet. And then you use the power tokens to spin. Whatever it lands on, you get the card. You get all the different varieties and everything. I actually don't think I have that. I think that's the first time I've gotten that. I haven't been completely free to play. I've been mostly free to play. The only thing that I have gotten are the 2 account upgrades. You can get each one of these upgrades whenever they go on sale on Steam all the time. That's whenever I got them. Whenever they're on sale, each one of these is $10. This one gives you all of the Minion Masters because I wanted to have all of the Minion Masters. You can eventually unlock all of these guys by playing the game, but I'm so big into deck building and finding synergies and everything, like I needed to have them all unlocked immediately. And this other upgrade, it gives you a bunch of the rubies, which you can use to buy a bunch of stuff. It gives you a bunch of the shards, which you can use to make cards. And like cards that you don't have, you can make them using the shards. And then the other thing that it does is every time you win, it gives you bonus XP. Every time you win, it gives you bonus gold. So all in all, I've thrown $20 at this game, and that's it. Like, I'm not going to throw any more money at it. The $20 was enough to unlock all the masters and to give me a permanent boost whenever I win. And $20, that's not bad. I do have many different decks using many different masters. I legitimately enjoy the hell out of this game. I think it's a lot of fun. So I may be doing more of these later on, show you some of my different decks, which are like vastly different than that deck that I used during this game. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I see you in another one of my videos, and wee